Welcome in. It's time for another Morning Espresso here on the SDH Network, our first of 2025. I'm Jason Longshore. There's a lot of news to get to this morning. You might need a second espresso after all of this. All the soccer news you need to know to start your Thursday. Let's begin in Major League Soccer. James Sands is headed from New York City FC to St. Pauli in the Bundesliga, at least for the first half of the season. It's a 6-month loan with an option to extend it through the next Bundesliga season if certain conditions are met. This is the second European loan for Sands, who spent time with Rangers in Scotland, played 41 games there in 2022 and the first part of 2023. Good season for him last year with NYC. He's always wanted to go back to Europe. The club is allowing him to do so, and that option to potentially buy, you would assume, will play into this as well. We'll see if Sands can make it stick at St. Pauli. The Seattle Sounders and FC Dallas deal is all but done, according to Sounder at Heart and Tom Bogert. It would be $2 million in general allocation money going to FC Dallas from Seattle, along with Leo Chu for Jesus Ferreira. Only final sign off from various parties, according to Sounder at Heart, is standing in the way of this deal being official. New York City, James Sands leaving, but Pascal Jensen could be coming in as their new head coach, leaving the Hungarian league to come to New York City. We'll get you updated on that one if that becomes official. It sounds like that is another one that is all but done. Fafa Pico signed with Inter Miami. In case you missed it, 1-year deal option for a second year. This is a return to at least that piece of land where Fafa Pico played for the Fort Lauderdale Strikers in the old North American Soccer League, not the way old North American Soccer League. Fafa's not been around quite that long, the second version of the NASL. Fafa's also played for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, FC Dallas, Houston Dynamo, Philadelphia Union, Vancouver Whitecaps, and now he will be with Inter Miami. DC United, they have signed Derek Dodson to a 1-year deal. He played in college just down the street at Georgetown, has spent time in MLS with Orlando and with Minnesota. Austin FC, they signed Ilie Sanchez from LAFC. The former captain of the Black and Gold signed a 1-year deal option for 2026. 34 years old. I'm not sure how much he has left in the tank, and I'm not sure how many times in a season he can give you 90 minutes. We'll see if this one works for Nico Estevez and Austin. And another update on MLS when you talk big picture and a lot of maybe hand wringing about the MLS Cup final viewership numbers. I've said it before. I don't know if ratings are really the right way to gauge the success of the Apple TV deal. I mean, the size of the check is going to be one thing, but also when you see things like this, a record $665 million in sponsorship for 2024, that is a 13% increase from 2023 and a 44% increase from 2022. The way we measure success is evolving, and I think it's easy to pick and choose what you want depending on your agenda. TV ratings for that final were down, but the TV partner now, and maybe TV should go in air quotes, the TV partner is not based on ratings anymore. It's based on subscribers, and it's based on increasing the awareness and perception of the league. And I think one way you're seeing that, in addition to tickets being sold, is sponsorship revenue. And that is a significant gain in the time since the Apple deal has been signed, a 44% increase in sponsorship revenue. The league's in good shape. It's not going anywhere. Hopefully, little things can continue to be tweaked for it to be even better, but things are pretty good for MLS these days. Some news from around the world. Liverpool have turned down an offer from Real Madrid to sign Trent Alexander-Arnold right now. Now, as of yesterday, Madrid can speak to Trent about signing a deal on a free because he's out of contract in 6 months, which is bizarre to me that Liverpool would allow it to get to this situation. Maybe it's a little bit of a dance here about Real Madrid going to Liverpool and saying, "Hey, we'd like to talk about a transfer," and Liverpool says, "No, we're not transferring anybody. We're trying to win the league." Liverpool's not going to sell him now. they're probably going to let him walk for a free, which is crazy. There's really nothing they can do about it at this point unless they want to get something in a transfer fee for him now, and I just don't think they will with them being, in a position to win the league, and I don't think that's going to change within the next month. A couple of other updates on the transfer side of things. We'll come back to Dani Olmo because that one is long and complicated as everything is with Barcelona. Aston Villa, they are linked with a bid for Borussia Dortmund forward Daniel Malin. 13 goals last season for Dortmund in the Bundesliga, 3 so far this season. Around 15 million pounds, about $18.7 million is the initial bid. Talks are ongoing. We'll see where that ends up. Keylor Navas is available on a free transfer. He has not signed anywhere since he finished the season last year with PSG. He's linked with a move potentially to Colo Colo in Chile. Dani Olmo could be linked with a free transfer as well because, according to La Liga, he cannot be registered by Barcelona at this stage. They lost that second appeal to get him registered. Pau Victor is also in this situation. The club claimed that they have applied for new registrations for the two players, but according to the Spanish FA, the rules say that a player cannot be signed by the same club twice in one season. His registration is canceled, according to the Spanish FA and La Liga. So you can't sign him to a new registration now, according to the Spanish FA rules. This is about as catastrophic of a failure as you could possibly have for Barcelona. Fans are calling for the president to resign over this. Technically, according to Fabrizio Romano, Dani Olmo's a free agent. Now, his agent has said to Romano that the player wants to stay at Barcelona. They're not considering any other options. If he can't play, they're going to consider other options. Barcelona owe Dani Olmo $50 million in salary. RB Leipzig is still owed $57 million in a transfer fee. I don't know how much has been paid up front, if any. Barcelona also sold their VIP boxes for their stadium, which is yet to be reopened, by the way. The renovation has run past schedule. They sold those VIP boxes for $104 million. It's believed that if they had not rushed it, they could have made about double that. So that when you add all that up, and you're not going to get a transfer fee for him if he can walk on a free because you can't register him. That was another part of this whole conversation. You're talking about over $200 million that will be thrown away by Barcelona for not being able to get these things done. Uh, that's a problem when you're already struggling and you're pulling financial levers all over the place. I don't know if this can get fixed at this point. It doesn't sound like it can. This is La Liga, this is Spain, and things happen that don't make any sense. But this one is not looking good for Barcelona at all. And Dani Olmo could be suddenly available on a free for some major teams in Europe to start checking around. Speaking about a player who was talked about being on a free, but is not going to be available on a free, Brandon Vasquez. I don't know why it was believed, the reporting that his contract would be mutually terminated between him and Monterrey. That would not make any sense. Monterrey is not Barcelona in terms of just throwing money away. They paid about $7 million for Vasquez to FC Cincinnati a year ago. They're not going to wash that down the drain and just let him go on a free when there is interest. And Austin FC are linked with that interest right now. There's been rumors about San Diego being interested, maybe others. We'll see. Wonder if Vasquez wants to try to chase the European dream. It has been said that he is not going to be part of the plans of Di Michelis, the new manager at Rayados, which is a mistake, in my opinion, on Monterrey's side to allow a new manager to come in and just boldly make that kind of a declaration on a player that they invested in heavily. Didn't have a great second half to the season, only 4 goals in the second half, but kind of quick to move on. But they're definitely not going to do it to let him walk on a free. Monterrey is not that silly. Lucas Martinez Quarta, who went from River to Fiorentina in Serie A. It looks like his time in Italy is done, and he will be headed back to River. He has said his goodbyes to Fiorentina, and he is trying to get more playing time in a push to get back into the Argentine national team on a regular basis. He was part of the Copa America squad, but he was not recalled for the World Cup qualifiers in the fall. Looking at like a 3-year deal for Lucas Martinez Quarta to go back to River Plate. from Fiorentina. River is also linked with a signing of Matias Rojas, whose option was declined by Inter Miami. Boca were interested, according to Herman Garcia Grova, but no deal came for Rojas. No contract materialized from Boca, even after Fernando Gago, the manager, called the player and spoke to him. Independiente are adding a couple of players as they get ready for the upcoming season in Argentina and they get ready for the group stage of the Copa Sudamericana. They have added Luciano Cabral, who is an Argentine Chilean who played for Club Leon in Mexico recently, 15 games in the last season for them. Pumas have transferred Nicolas Freire, who last played for Inter Miami. He has been transferred from Pumas to Independiente for the upcoming season. It's a 1 year loan with an option to buy, so not a full transfer. They loaned him to Miami last season, but he's headed to Argentina this season. So Miami has a few other pieces they need to try to replace as they get ready for the upcoming year. Dylan Barrero, who was with New England Revolution, he has signed with Fortaleza in Brazil, who had a very good year. They finished fourth in the Serie A with our old friend Mateus Hosechu in that group as well. Still 22 years old, Barrero. I think it's easy to think about how he started his time in New England very, very well and then struggled with injuries and never really got going again. 37 games for the Revs, 6 goals, 6 assists in 2.5 seasons. Two big games today to keep an eye on in Scotland. Rangers and Celtic. The old firm derby is in action at 10 a.m. Rangers are a mess right now. They've won just one of the last 14 games with Celtic. Celtic have kept 15 clean sheets in 18 league games. They're unbeaten in their last 18 in all competitions since losing in the Champions League to Borussia Dortmund. Rangers manager Philippe Clement is in big trouble here because he has not won against Celtic in 6 games. Also in big trouble because Rangers are without their captain, James Tavernier, and without their vice captain, Jack Butland, the goalkeeper. Tavernier was injured on Sunday against Motherwell. Butland had to go to the hospital. He sent on his Instagram story yesterday that he had suffered a significant bleed in his leg that needed hospital attention. It's under control. He's going to have a full recovery, but he's not going to be able to play today against Celtic. And it could be the last game for Rangers manager. It's going to be a very interesting one in Glasgow this morning. Also, later today, the Italian Super Cup semifinal, Inter and Atalanta. Inter, 5 game winning streak in Serie A. Atalanta, 13 game unbeaten streak in the league. New club record with 36 wins in the calendar year of 2024. Can Atalanta continue this run and snap Inter's recent winning streak? That'll be a fun one later today. You can watch that on Paramount Plus. That'll do it for the morning espresso. Lots of stuff in the espresso today. SDH Live will kick off at 9:05 this morning. You can watch on YouTube. You can watch on Facebook. You can watch on X. You can also watch, as always, on Twitch. John Nelson will be helming the show for you there. More espresso tomorrow morning.